a few months. But here is the highlights then of what we've just seen in race 2. Mitani starting from pole position once again, got a good launch, didn't get the good launch he would have wanted because Ojiwara from the second row of the grid got the whole shot once again, just like he did in race 1. And then a lead group of 6 riders quickly formed at the front, leaving behind the likes of Levi Russo, unfortunately couldn't quite tag on to the back of this group. Faris Hafai leading the way in the early exchanges as well. This was down at turn 1. We saw plenty of action there in the opening few laps, but the lead was changing lap by lap, corner by corner. It was very, very close racing and exciting racing here, as always is in the Asia Talent Cup. Slipstream City down the front straight, the 1 kilometre long front straight, but this drama after a few laps. Ojiwara leading the race, tipping it into turn 1. Hafai eager to try and climb up into the podium places, just left his braking a little bit late and down they went. Thankfully both riders are up on their feet and look to be relatively okay, but this left us with a lead quartet, and this was on the final lap. Ramadhipa on the number 7 machine, picking the pockets of Mitani and Takahira, the 2 Japanese riders, fighting it away for P2 and P3. And did he hold it to the line, Ramadhipa? Yes, he did. Indonesia have a new winner in the Asia Talent Cup. Ramadhipa, the rookie, winning his 2nd ever race in the Asia Talent Cup. A fantastic start to the season here in the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup. Thank you for joining in. We will be back with you in a few months' time over in India. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day. See you.
The season, which is quite a few months away, but still important. But it's all about the number 7 from Indonesia once again in the Asia Talent Cup. This time it's not Veda Pratama, it's Kiandra Ramadhipa. What a stunning win, his maiden podium, his maiden victory in the Asian Talent Cup, and what a way to do it.
Brilliant stuff from Ramadhipa. Indonesia, you have a new star to cheer on in the Asia Talent Cup. I'm sure you were a little bit worried about Veda Pratama going on to pastures new in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, but we have a new number 7 from Indonesia to talk about. This was Takahira and Mitani getting very close. A great move, it has to be said, from Takahira down at turn 12. This was the run out of the final corner. Ramadhipa getting his head down behind the bubble, just about hanging on to P1. As we said earlier, Chris, if the finish line was back to where it was a couple of years ago, it might have been a different result, but it's not, and the riders knew that. What a win.
I tell you what, he was out of the seat before he crossed the line, and it nearly cost him in celebrations. Don't celebrate that early, but he got away with it this time. The youngest rider on the grid. What a stunning result for him. The number 7 from Indonesia missed out on the podium yesterday by just 100th of a second. Very, very little minutes. I think Agami pipped him to P3. No mistakes this time around. No one's going to pip him this time, as he took victory ahead of yesterday's race winner, Mitani, who takes a very impressive 45 points back with him to Japan from the Qatar round. While Richie Takahira once again is on the podium.
Certainly is a double podium to start Takahira's year. He'll be pleased with that. He'll of course be disappointed not to pick up a race victory, but 2 podiums at the start of the season is a job well done for Takahira. A good start to his year. A very good start as well for Mitani. He'll have been open, of course, to make it 2 wins from 2, but he had a little bit more of a battle on his hands this time than he did yesterday, didn't he? A runaway race winner in race, Chris. Not necessarily the riders who were quickest and had superior pace in race 1 can carry that over into race 2. It's strange how these things work. Mitani 7 seconds clear of the chasing pack yesterday. Couldn't quite manage the victory today. Ramadhipa, congratulations, you are a race winner in the Asia Talent Cup. 4 tenths splitting the top 4. That's exactly how we like it.
Yeah, another superb instalment of the Asia Talent Cup, and what a way to start race day here at the Qatar Grand Prix. Had us on the edge of the seats, and hopefully Moto 3, Moto 2 and MotoGP counterparts have been paying attention of how to entertain, because that was a super watch.
Yeah, great way to start Super Sunday here at the Lusail International Circuit. Plenty of racing action to come, of course, in Moto 3, Moto 2 and MotoGP. Yes, what a way to get the juices flowing, Chris, out of our first race day of the season. Of course, the second race day for these guys, and unfortunately we're going to have to wait until September at the Grand Prix of India to watch these guys back in action again. That's a long wait, unfortunately, but it's just how it is. The riders who have been here in years gone by, not last year but the year before especially, there's only, I think, Faris Hafai, who's now into his 3rd season of Asian Talent Cup action. That's the way it always was, of course, Lusail, the spiritual home of the first round of the season in MotoGP. And then there's a long wait until we get to the Asian Tour of the season. So a long wait for these riders to get back on these machines. But for the riders who have stood on the podium a couple of times and won races like Ramadhipa and Mitani, Takahira, of course, Singapore unfortunately just missing out again. It feels harsh that you finish 4 tenths off the win and don't stand on the podium, but that's just the way the hooker rumbles, unfortunately, in the Asia Talent Cup. The race winning overtake that happened just before coming out of the turn 10 hairpin. This was turn 12. Takahira dived at the inside of Mitani, but they were battling away, weren't they, Chris, on the exit, sort of fighting between themselves, and forgot there were 2 of the riders behind them.
Yeah, exactly. It was an absolutely super move from Ramadhipa, who just kind of snuck in unnoticed as Mitani and Takahira went toe-to-toe. So here are the final results. Kiandra Ramadhipa from Indonesia is your race winner, with Zen Mitani and Richie Takahira on the podium. Kiandra 6 Singapore once again just misses out, while it's Ricky Henry who takes 5th ahead of Sarthak Shaban, the Indian rider recording his best in the Asia Talent Cup. Levi Russo, Ramaputra, Alfonsi Quigan inside the top 10 as Archie Schmidt, I should say, takes P10. Then it's a double thigh riders, Wanmoon and Tanachan ahead of Vishwanath, while then Makib and Raksit Dave complete the point scores. Ogiwara and Ikigami fell behind, but they did see the checkered flag after some early disturbances, while Rintaro, Takamoto and Faris Hafai did not see the checkered flag after some crashes.
Race 2 results then, and here is the Riders' Championship after the first 2 races of the season. Zen Mitani leading the way with a P1 and a P2, a great weekend for the young Japanese rider. He's 7 clear of Ramadhipa, the 2 riders who have won races, the top 2 in the standings as things stand heading to India in a few months' time. Takahira, a good start to his season in P3, a couple of podiums. Singapore, very consistent up inside the league groups here this weekend. He is in P4. Chaban, good start for the Indian. His home race, of course, coming later on in the season. Him and Levi Russo are locked together on 17 points. Ikigami, unfortunately, didn't see much of Ikigami today. Have to try and find out what the problem was at the start of that race that ruined his second outing here in Qatar. Because Ikigami, a debut podium finisher in race 1, we were February and Moto E. So we're not going to be bored by any means, but it is a shame that we have to wait so long to see these riders back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. But I suppose when it does come round again after the Indian GP, they come thick and fast. So that will be an exciting watch, and we'll look forward to being back with you as well. 2 great races here in Qatar as we see the final podium from the weekend in the Asia Talent Cup take their place. Richie Takahira followed by Zen Mitani, but your race winner from Indonesia, Kiandra Ramadhipa. Not for the first time, and certainly not for the last time, we're going to hear Indonesian Raja play out across a motorcycle track, Elliot.
Certainly not. We heard it 9 times in total last season, and I've got to say it's quickly become one of my favourite national anthems. If you've not heard it before, if you're new to the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup, then do look forward to the Indonesian national anthem because it is an absolute belter, if I do say so. And I admit myself, it is one of my favourites already. 2 trophies in the locker for Mitani already. As I say, a great way for him to start his sophomore season in the Asia Talent Cup. It is not 2 race winners trophy, because the second one of the weekend goes to the young Indonesian Ramadhipa. What a race from the number 7, as we do get set now for the race winners national anthem from Indonesia.